Hey guys, welcome back. We got a bunch of parts in. We just got back from O'Reilly's. We got the carb rebuild kit. We got 6 new AC Delco plugs. Top of the line, top shelf for a top shelf truck. We got a new cap, new rotor to go with that. We got new plug wires. We got the universals, so we got to build them. A little bit of a pain in the butt. New fuel pump, new oil filter. And like I was saying in the last video, we're gonna try a couple different fuel additives. We're just gonna dump them right down the carb, let her eat on it, and rebuild the engine right in the can. What else am I missing? And then we got these 2 fuel filters yesterday. I think I already showed those. We got the valve cover coming tomorrow, which would be Friday. They said it should be in for noontime, which would be just perfect. So I will put the camera down, we'll get you set up, and let's start putting parts on. Okay, we got the new fuel pump broke out, the gasket and the spacer. It's basically just 2 gaskets, but they call one of them the spacer. It's just reading the instructions. So we got the water wheel out. We're gonna try to dip this down here and clean up the surface. This thing is worth its weight in gold, I'll tell you what. Okay, so we can get the gasket. I'm probably not going to do the spacer. I'm not sure how you'd even tell if you need the spacer or not, but we're just going to go with that, I guess. I didn't take a spacer off, and there's only 1 gasket on the other one, so I'm just gonna go with this. Now, we can get the fuel lines hooked back in. We got those blown out. We got the bolts started here by hand, then we can get the ratchet in here. Big news too, me and my dad got some spacers mocked up. We got drawings made in a CAD file, so now we can actually get them made up. So those should be here. I don't want to speak for him, but I think probably pretty soon. We already got most of it pretty well started, to be honest with you, so should be able to get those here shortly. I'd say probably within the next week or so, but we still got plenty to do here yet anyway. So I ordered some rocker panels for this thing. Actually, they don't sell a rocker panel for this truck because it's so uncommon. But I am gonna try to do a Ford F100 of the same era, because I had an old timer here today. Said it was almost identical, same or super similar cab style. So he's like, I'd be willing to bet my life it's the same floor pan layout and the same rockers. So I ordered the rockers to start, and if it ends up being the same, I'll cut out the floor and order floor pans for it too. But otherwise, I'll just make some custom pans. Okay, fuel pump is in. You can get some of these plugs out too. We can do new plugs. New oil filter, new cap, new rotor. Bunch of good stuff. I do have a new coil here too for it. That's the one we got to get to. It's just a ratchet wrench. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I'll probably wait until we get that valve cover gasket in to do the to fill the oil up all the way anyways. But we'll toss that. We'll toss the oil filter in anyhow. Let's do that. Let's get that out of the way. So I'm just looking at just looking at those fuel lines right now. Actually, they do not look like the same size inlet and outlet on this fuel pump here, so we might have to hit O'Reilly's up again and get some either new lines made or see if we can get some reducers or something. I don't know. Well, my other one surely didn't have that little grab handle there. Okay, so like I said, the other thing too we're gonna do is clean this cap up real quick. I don't know how good you can see it on the camera, but you can see it's just caked with stuff. So let's clean that up quick. You rip this old O-ring out of there as well. Get this guy out of here. I like these fenders. They're nice and roomy for activities. Whoa. She grabbed it on me. Okay, blow it out. I'll go grab some brake clean quick too. Oh yeah, she's gonna need it. Oh my gosh, it looks brand new. Basically new old stock at this point. Holy cats and dogs. I love it. Alright. I'd like to clean the top of this thing too. But I might wait to pressure wash everything, honestly. You know, some people like to pressure wash engines and some people say absolutely not. I've never had any bad luck with it, to be honest with you. I don't think I'd recommend it. Like, I understand why it's kind of frowned upon, but I also, like I said, I've never had a single issue with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Oh boy. This O-ring is just, oh, that was not too bad. I was a bit worried there for a second. It started to split. I don't know if you can see it that well. Started to split on me. It started to sound real crunchy, and it's recessed into this thing pretty good. So trying to get the new one, or the old one out completely and the new one in would have been pretty hard. But cool. Well, we're good so far. Honestly, not super sure how we're gonna get this thing to seat in there properly because it just shrinks right back in. I'd say a little heat with a hair dryer and stretch it out or something maybe, but I don't know. Not sure. Oops. Well, I guess that's not supposed to even make contact with that. I don't know. I have a good feeling that's just gonna start. That's probably just gonna not seal, if I were to guess. Okay, rag. Gonna clean this canister out here. Just real super quick. Not gonna do anything crazy. That's pretty gunky in there though. That's gross. So we're gonna do, like I had mentioned before, we're definitely gonna do an oil flush on this thing too. So whatever oil we put in it, which is gonna be pretty expensive stuff. I mean, it's $15.40, so it's not cheap, but it's not cheap stuff to begin with. So what we're gonna do is just flush it. We're gonna run it for a little bit, however long we feel like is a reasonable amount of time without going too crazy running it, because you don't want to go messing anything up with bad oil. So we'll run it for a little while. I don't know, we'll run it around the block, you know, get it hot. Not gonna go crazy, but we'll get the engine nice and warm. We'll work the gaskets up slowly and let everything set back in nice and even, nice and slow. And then when I feel like it's been a little bit, a reasonable amount of time, then we'll dump the oil and on we go. This thing's being a bugger. I don't think that's gonna actually seal, but we'll see. We shall see. Oh boy, come on. I hope that seals, because that is a bugger to get to. Okay, what were we doing? Plugs and wires. So let's throw our new, this can go. So our points and condenser and all that stuff is good. So we're gonna leave that for now until it proves otherwise, but we're gonna keep that because that's sort of one of those costs that we don't have to have right now. So we're gonna do everything as needed. And I really hope all this stuff is actually right. Okay, that's on. Some of the stuff I'm sort of questioning. Yeah, that's... That looks a little taller than my old one. I'll have to go dig it out of the truck. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that's way different. It looked right. So the cap is definitely right. That looks 100% right to me. So I have the old one here. But this rotor is, this part of the body right here is way too long. The other one was real stubby. So I'm gonna just return that probably, and then we can use the new cap at least, but the old rotor I think will be all right. The new cap was more my concern. So I'll toss that aside for now. All right, well, I'm gonna run into my truck. I'm gonna grab the old rotor because that's where it's sitting right now, and I'll be right back. We'll get the cap slapped on there. We'll get the new plug wires, all that good stuff. And then we'll toss the rotor in and go from there. Well, I actually I found the old fuel pump and I got the 2 fittings off of it. I don't remember it having fittings, but apparently it does. So it's a good thing I looked. So now we can get those fuel lines on and they should fit, no problem. So this straight guy right here goes on the front towards the radiator side. That's a pipe thread, so we shouldn't, I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to have tape on that, but it's going to crush as it goes in anyways, so it'll seal those threads because it's a tapered pipe thread. So in theory, we shouldn't need it, and it's really not a high pressure deal anyhow. It's really, really low pressure system, so I'm not going to bother. And these brass fittings too, just if you guys don't know, and if you're a young buck watching, I'm still a young buck, but if you're younger than me, do not over tighten these fittings. Really just do it, I mean, do it hand tight and then do it a few more turns after that, because you can really overdo it in a hurry and then strip it out pretty dang quick. So I would not screw around with these, because then it's stripped out and then you're swearing and cussing and then you get all mad and then nobody wants to see that and then it's really awkward and embarrassing. And do I need to go on? Sounds like I've done that before, huh? Well, gee darn it, I can't even get this one started. What the hell? I'm gonna start cussing. You mother trucker. Come on. There we go. That one's a bugger. Yeah, see, it would have been nice to have done this before I put it in. Had I remembered there was fittings on there. Good thing I didn't toss that either, because that would have sucked. Yeah, those plug wires are a little bit of a pain in the butt too. I didn't want to show all that on film because holy crap, that takes far too long to show that on camera. But those are done. That's cool. That's a big win. Okay, so that guy's on, and that's just more or less a little bit more than hand tight. I don't think we're going to need to do that one any tighter on the backside there, that little elbow, 90 degree. Okay, so plug wires are done. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw in the time lapse if it was too quick or not, but these, let me rip this out for you. These new plugs are not even remotely close. So there's the neck here. I mean, this is way deeper, but really what you want to look at is the I line the washers up. I mean, it's way different. Not even, I have to slide this guy way out here. It's a 1/4 inch difference. So we're gonna have to return those, not a big deal, but we gotta go to town, I think tomorrow. Yeah, we gotta go to town tomorrow anyhow to get that valve cover gasket here. So we're all cleaned up here, prepped, ready to go. I might take the wire wheel quick here off camera tomorrow and slap that on and just be done with it. But we got all the valve train all cleaned up. Bailey did an amazing job doing that. And we got the oil filter in. We can do these fuel lines quick here. I actually got the tank soaking in some paint thinner right now. I figured that'd probably be good enough. And the frickin' I looked at aircraft remover to buy. No, thank you. It's $80 for a 1 gallon jug. So I said I'll pass on that. Thank you though. But so I got a couple gallons of paint thinner instead. It was a lot cheaper. And it says it strips varnish and paint. Obviously, it's meant to strip varnish crap. So I figured that'd be a decent substitute. It's probably not going to be as good as aircraft remover, but I also did end up buying that 5 gallon jug of Evapo-Rust I was telling you guys about. So that is purchased, that is bought. So we are good to go on that, because all we got to do is slosh that gas around on that guy, and then after that, all we got to do is put the Evapor-Rust in once we dump the old gas and stuff out and get rid of that, and then we can throw the 5 gallons of Evapor-Rust in there. And what I'm going to do is sit it where it wants to sit initially, and then every like 12 hours I'll kind of rotate the tank so it hits every part, because obviously it's only 5 gallons, it's not going to touch everything. So but then after that, I mean, that gas tank should be spotless. And by the way, the JB Weld held very nicely. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's cool. It came out pretty decent, honestly. It came out pretty darn good. I was a little bit surprised, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a kind of a trick trying to get it to fill in that hole, because that hole was a lot bigger than I realized, because I started grinding and sanding and doing all the things to it, and it just got very big very quick. But it's to the point where it's all nice fresh metal, so we are to fresh metal, so we're good. But it's sealed, it's holding gas, and I made sure to use the Marine JB Weld, so that we can actually, it's rated to hold petroleum products like it should, so we're good to go. So let's toss this guy in there, and then I don't remember which way this goes now at this point. Okie doke. We got our little fuel filter, our inline fuel filter here. So make sure you follow the arrow. 2 carb. So we're gonna trim this. I mean, the filter is damn near as long as the rubber hose that we need on there. So I'm gonna sort of extend it and loop it back into it, and make it quite a bit easier to get at too. So it can kind of hang out down here a little bit, so we can actually look at it and get to it pretty darn easy if we need to, which we will. I bought a couple filters, so I've been I definitely am pretty concerned about that tank, but hopefully it cleans up pretty good. I think we spent enough money on some chemicals where I think it'll clean up pretty darn good, other than getting it professionally done, which I don't really want to do, because there's nowhere even close around here that does that. So we're not going to do that. I don't even hardly need these clamps because it's so damn tight on there. I had to give it my all to get this filter even on there. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but let's do, okay, so which side do we need here? Need this guy. This guy here. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to salvage these fittings and toss a new hose on here. That worked out pretty good. Okay, so that one side's done. We're gonna do something similar for the other side. I'm just not exactly sure how long we're gonna wanna make it yet. Where the hell is it? I don't see it. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty dang long. I don't know. It's gonna suck. Okay, I'm gonna take this hose clamp back off. We're gonna thread this fitting on here, get it snug, and then we can I love how low to the ground this truck is with the flat tires. It's so easy to work on. God, the damn coyotes are going wild outside there. They get so close to the house, it's unreal. We got horses and cats and animals everywhere. It's gets a little too close for comfort sometimes, but I got a nice little coyote hunting setup for my AR, but oh, shit. That's gonna leak. I'm gonna have to tighten that. We'll do that later, but I'd like to try to get this dry fitted and mount it up if we could. Yeah, we'll have to take this off at a different time anyhow. I'm not too worried about that. It's really easy to get to, so if we got to take her off again, it's not a big deal. Calm down. Just calm down. Okay. So we got that snagged in there. Now all we got to do is get another handy dandy little section spliced in there. I think it's so freaking close together. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, to be honest with you. God dang, that is such a terrible angle. I don't want to run rubber hose all the way back there because we got perfectly good steel line. I don't really need. I don't know. I almost got to cut it to the perfect length. It's not going to work out like I thought it was. Let's just cut a long section of this line and we're going to hope for the best here. Okay, so we got this guy going back in. So this is the other side of the fitting here. 5/8 and a half inch. Okay, that's tight. Oh, that is tight. Tight like a tiger. Okay. Hose clampy, hose clampy. And then, there it is. What the fuck? Okay, so we made kind of a little service loop in there. It's sort of what I wanted, but it's a little jankier than what I was expecting. I mean, it'll still work, but we'll change on that here too anyways. We're just trying to get a starting point on something. I'm sure we'll have to chase some leaks. It's to be expected. But that worked out. That worked decent. So we'll roll with that. So we got fuel hooked up. We're good to go there. Plugs, wire. Well, no plugs. We got the wires. Could throw the original plugs back in it. Those worked fine. But what else we got? I think we're about out of parts, guys. So last thing we got to do is valve cover, gasket, and then we can throw the we could probably throw the oil in it tomorrow. Only other thing I got to do here is the carb rebuild kit, but I'm gonna do that off camera just because we already worked on that yesterday together and it's gonna be the same thing. So nothing exciting, but we'll get that guy rebuilt and then toss that back in, get all the fuel lines hooked up. We'll give them one last little cleaning. We'll blow them out real quick before we get the tank back in there. We'll get the tank all cleaned up. We'll get the gaskets. We'll probably throw a little RTV on the gaskets where they seal up. So, but yeah, so the other thing I want to show you guys real quick is this cab with the seat out. It's pretty raunchy. So kind of like from here out is bad. From here back is good. Pretty much same on that side. So what I'm gonna do, I got the rocker panels coming in, so these can get cut out, but I'm gonna weld in cross braces here, or try to use a strap if I can. I just don't think there's any strapping points, and I don't really want to crush in the cab. So I gotta weld in some square tubing or something, if I can, just whatever I can get, I guess. I'd like to use some 1-inch square tubing. This is pretty straightforward, honestly. This floor, it's I mean, it's just gone, but we could just do a flat piece of sheet metal, and I think we'll be rocking and rolling. We'll just match both sides. I'll probably cut back to like right about here, but I'm gonna get this floor cleaned out tonight, and we can start taking some measurements for some floors. So probably not gonna go like crazy restoration quality, but we'll at least get some decent floors in here, and we'll I'd like to save this mat a little bit, but we might have to buy a new one. They're like $400 online. It's insane. I think that's probably asbestos flooring, so let's breathe that in. I really want to save that, but I don't think it's going to be possible. I'll probably just end up ripping it out. But yeah, I'm going to try to get some floor measurements made up. That's pretty freaking bad though. That's terrible. So trickiest part's going to be getting the bend up there, and I don't know how much of that's actually left and how far up it goes. I haven't really seen that too much just yet, but from down there it looks like it's still all good down there. So we'll have to do a little bit of a bend to go up, but I can mock something up and make a little sheet metal press. I got a little Harbor Freight 12-ton press over there, so we can rig something up. So we'll get a measurement from there to here, and do a little bend for the floor, for the feet, and then we'll just cut it back to here, and I think we can just stitch it in, no problem. So stay tuned, we'll be back.